Season 2, uh, Hmong student athletes, part 2. We have Ashley, Jordan, and Maddy here. Do you guys want to introduce yourself, starting with the oldest to youngest?
All right, so I'm Ashley, or you can call me Ash. I play for the University of Guelph, and I'm a a libero / defensive specialist there. And I'm 22 years old. Jordan, you can go, I guess.
Okay. I'm Jordan. I'm a former volleyball player at Delaware State, and I'm currently at McMaster University. I'm an outside hitter, and I just turned 20 on Friday.
Wow, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm Maddy Vang. I play for the Kitchener-Waterloo Predators Volleyball Club 18U. I am still in high school, so I go to Cameron Heights, and I'm 17 years old. I'm a setter and an outside hitter, and I'm also left-handed.
Throw that in.
Yeah. And they're
Are
all
you a natural left-hander?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other people in your family who are left-handed?
Not really. No, no one else.
So it was meant to be. It was God-given right there. See that?
They also got all the height.
We did. We really did.
They really did.
How tall are you guys, by the way? Yeah.
I'm
5'10".
5'5". George's 5'10".
5'10"?
5'10".
I'm 5'8".
Wow.
Still the tallest.
I'm very impressed.
Well, I think Will is shortest on this panel.
5'3", man. Wow.
Shortest on this panel right here.
On a good day with shoes. On a good day.
Oh yeah, that's it. On a good day, 5'10".
That's just awesome. Now, are your parents pretty tall?
No.
No.
Wow.
Our parents are short.
One.
It was
I'm
meant
the
to be.
tallest one.
Okay. Well, your uncles is somewhere along the bloodline. Someone must have been really tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, our uncle is our one uncle's 6. Is he 1? Uncle Derek?
I haven't seen him in a while.
Okay.
So.
6
Wow.
feet.
Uncles.
Only 6 feet.
Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive right there. 5'10". You never see that, especially among women, among ladies. You don't really see that.
We actually have whenever I went to we went to Michigan the one time, and they asked if we were actually Hmong, and we're like, yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't blame them because just because of the height and the athletic ability. So very impressed.
All right. Can you guys talk about how you guys got involved in sports, just in general? Maddy, can you start off with that?
Yeah, so I started off with sports because of my sisters and my family. So way back, we always had a gym. Our Hmong community would get a gym at Crestview, public school, and then they'd play. And I was always too little, so I had to sit and watch, and I wasn't allowed to play because I had to learn first. So I'd always be on the bench watching. So I guess that's where I started. And then after I got to play.
You proved them wrong, didn't you?
Yeah.
You want to sit you out, huh?
Yeah.
How big is the Hmong community where you guys live?
It's
Where you
not
guys grew
very
up?
big.
It's
a
really
couple
small
hundred.
here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Couple hundred, but that's it. Yeah, it's quite small. We don't have as much. Every time we go to the States, we're like, wow, there's a lot of Hmong people here, and then we come back home, we're like, there's no one here.
Do you guys get enough Hmong culture in you to kind of understand the culture or appreciate it, or
we get enough from our uncles and stuff. We just get enough, but it's not as I guess you would say as big as it is where you guys are. Everywhere you guys have different New Year's that everyone goes to, where we just have one, and then that's that. And then we have like the occasional Hmong picnics, but like
Yeah.
they're very, very small.
Yeah. And then when you do go to those picnics, everyone knows everybody, anyways, right?
Yeah,
Like, everybody's
essentially,
family. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. You're pretty much related to everyone
Yeah.
that's in Canada.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of how it is with the Hmong community, because when a Hmong family moves or lives somewhere, they just don't move alone. They move with like a clan or like a bunch of brothers and sisters. So
Yeah.
everyone is pretty much family. Yeah. So
Jordan, can you speak on how you got involved in sports?
Sports. Out of all my siblings, I went through like a trial and error with sports. So like while they were
Okay.
all playing volleyball, I
Mhm.
was playing like soccer and basketball. I played a bit of football at school.
Mhm.
Did some ultimate frisbee. Very
Yeah.
fun sport. Very fun sport. And honestly, I didn't get back into volleyball until the 9th grade. So, and that's when my uncle who was coaching at the time needed an extra player. So he asked me, and then I just said sure, and ended up just continuing with volleyball from then on.
Yeah. Would you say all those experience in those other sports kind of helped you propel, kind of like accelerate your volleyball skills and career?
Yeah, a bit. With soccer and like basketball, the cardio helped a lot with like stamina on the court, as well as a bit of jumping with the basketball too. But
Oh, man, hooping too. Okay. Man, go Raptors, man!
What about you, Ashley?
I always grew up playing with like the guys, like my uncles and stuff. And my dad, I remember my dad told me, he's like, if you want to be good at volleyball, like you got to get hit in the face a couple times. Yeah. So honestly, like I did get hit in the face a couple times from my uncles, and they weren't easy balls. Like they were definitely like full out swings and stuff. So, I had to learn eventually. And then again, just like literally playing in my front yard with my dad. My dad would just like swing balls at me, and I would like pass balls, hit balls, work on like my form and stuff like that. And it was just literally all began just outside my front door, like in the that's pretty much what it was.
Is that similar to what you guys went through, Jordan, Maddy?
we had it way easier,
Yeah.
I shall say.
Oh my gosh.
I witnessed Ashley and my older sister Kat their training, and then I compared it to mine with my dad, and he was way easier on us.
Every time, like when we had like the open gyms, me and like my older sister would be like, Dad, you've gone soft. Like you've gone soft. I remember like growing up training, it was like if you made a mistake, it was like you're doing like burpees or whatever, and then if you just made one little burpee that wasn't like full out done, it was like, oh, you start back at 0. Like you're starting over and you're doing it until you get it right, or like we weren't even allowed to go to the bathroom.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was like
was that tough?
No water.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, from your perspective, what are the advantage and disadvantages of that? Like going through what you went through, and then going through what your younger sisters went through.
I think for me, like I think I've developed like a good like kind of mental toughness, I guess you could say, and I have a really good like strong mentality when it comes to volleyball. Like in the moment, like at the time when I was doing all those things, obviously it sucked and I hated it. Like as I got older, I kind of like I've learned to appreciate everything that my dad did, you know what I mean? And like looking back at it now, I'm like, you know what? It sucked in the moment, but like it was all worth it in the end, because look at where I am now. Like I can't complain.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I'm just like, okay, they had it easy, but they still had to do like things that maybe weren't as like tough as I did, but I mean, they still had consequences when they did drills and stuff.
Well, I think, Ashley, I think you were the guinea pig. I think he was just trying to hit.
It's trial.
It's all my cousins. Yeah.
It's all trial and error, and I can speak on that because I'm a parent myself. And it's like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
And Maddy and Jordan, can you speak on the advantages of seeing your sister go through that, and the advantages of maybe as Ashley said, your dad going softer on you guys and the cons of it. Can you guys speak on that a little bit?
Me first.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
think with Ashley going through the guinea pig phase, she's also like a secondary coach. Like her and my other older sister were also like kind of secondary coaches to help on certain stuff too, like especially defense wise, because they're both super short compared to me. So they're both like lives, whereas I'm more so an outside hitter, but I still lack the defensive aspect, but they also have more experience than I did at the time. So it like really helped with the secondary coaching per se.
Yeah, like what Jordan said on the secondary coaching. But then you also see like you also learn from their mistakes, and you also been watching them get pounded on, so you kind of don't want to be pounded on from your dad. So it's like you know what not to do, so that's why you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, so you don't have to do those over again, those punishments. So.
Ashley, you know, going through this training, when you were going through the training, was there ever a time that you thought about running away from home?
Away from home, no, but like wanting to beat my dad up, yes.
Or you were just like, oh, or like try not to come home, like, oh, I don't want to go home, I don't want to do this.
No, there's never time that. But then like my dad was like good in a sense where like after like every training session we would just play like 2-on-2 or whatever, and it would be like my dad and my uncle versus me, my older sister, and my 2 cousins that played at the time too. And they would say like if we won, we would get like ice cream or something like at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like okay, like yo, we're gonna get this, and we would always lose. And so we would never win the ice cream, but like it sucked. Yeah. But like to us, it was like, okay, we have a chance. Like we actually have a chance to like win something out of all this training. And then like as we got older, we kind of got smarter, and we like learned how to like which person to pick on the most. And then it came to the 2 uncles, like my dad and my uncle. And like we were like, okay, we're gonna pick on my uncle because he's got a bad knee, so it was on him. And then made my we'd always try to do that. So we got smart, definitely. But
I'll just let you guys know you guys aren't the only ones going through it, because I can speak for my son. He goes through it too. So. I definitely, because as a firstborn, it's like you only, I wouldn't say you take it out on them, but you only push them so hard because the potential that you see in them. But as you get your second child, third child, you kind of reflect and see what you did that hurt the child and whatnot. So I think as your younger siblings were learning from what you went through, I think your dad was kind of learning too. So definitely. Yeah.
Good to be man. It's not good to be the guinea pig. I tell you that. I mean, you have.
Gotta be the guinea pig.
Sometimes you get 3-4 kids, and then you get 3-4 different parents. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just kind of the way it goes.
Now, and then I want to ask this. Now, would you say you guys' personality are kind of different or kind of the same? Who's like the tough one? Who's like the
But we're all different.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, how would you guys describe yourself to? Well, maybe you guys could describe each other instead of describing yourself. Jordan, how would you describe Ashley?
And
Ashley can describe Jordan.
Like volleyball wise, I could describe all 3 of us in a sense. Ash is more so of Ash is a mix of smart and kind of like a smart player, but like Ash is like an all-arounder, so she knows what she's doing and stuff. Maddy is a very smart player. Like when we play 2v2, Maddy knows what she's doing. Like Maddy sees all the spots open on the court, whereas I'm just hit the ball as hard as I can, make sure it goes in, hope it goes in.
So you're saying the other 2 are more controlled, and you're more like a little bit rough. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? And is
Pretty
that how?
much.
And is that kind of how your personalities are too? You're probably like the rougher one and edgier one, or
Yeah.
you guys? Okay, so see, playing style matches personalities.
Honestly, in this
Yeah.
family, yeah.
Maddy, why don't you describe them two?
Okay, I can describe Jordan really well because I played with her first 2 years. Definitely she was a meaner player, but she was really good. She's really good. She was like the person you would go to. So like she's like a person you'd give her the ball to put away, because she was just someone that would pack people at that age too. So
Yeah.
she always went for like 6-packs and stuff like that. But she was more aggressive on the court, and
They get
she's
$5 every time she packs someone.
yeah, well, yeah. And she gives really hard high fives when she's mad. So there's that. And then Ash is just she is a smart player, but you can also see the drive she has in volleyball. So like you can see the passion she has for it, and like her competitiveness and her drive for always wanting to win. So that's always good to have.
You guys know each other really well.
What
Have
about you,
guys-
Ash?
Yeah, with Jordan, like Jordan is so good. Like every time I see Jordan, I'm like, wow, like I know she's gonna put it away, or she's gonna put some like force behind a ball, you know, every time you're gonna just and Jordan's like very, very like aggressive, and Jordan's also just like the brains. Like she's the like in our family, like
LeBron.
yeah, Jordan's always just the one you go to do anything that you need, and she's got you. So it's like nice to have her on a team, and just like the sisters. And then Maddy is very smart, and again, like she has like when she plays, you can tell like she's very aware when it comes to the court. And Maddy's very passionate. Like I'm gonna be honest, there are times when like watching Maddy grow up playing, and just seeing her drive to always like want to practice outside, like in the front yard, because like whenever Maddy didn't really have anyone to play with when she was growing up,
Her
because
best friend was the wall.
Yeah, her best friend is the wall. And she would always nag me. I remember growing up, she would always nag me to come and like just pepper with her or like pass the ball with her, and I would always say no because I never I was just like, no, I'm too tired, like I don't want to. But like just watching her passion, she actually like even motivated me and inspired me to like want to continue playing and even like still play till this day. So yeah.
Wow. Wow, man. Jordan and Maddy, have you guys ever heard these words coming out of Ashley's mouth before?
No, never.
Words from anybody.
Hey, we're not only a sports broadcasting thing, but we are also a family thing, but we bring families together as well.
You can replay it. That's why we need your dad on. Go ahead, Will.
Well, I was just gonna say when Jordan said the best friend is your wall, that's so true. I mean, that is so true. It is. Hey, all you young folks out there, just find a wall, just hit that volleyball against it, and just bump it against the wall. That's how volleyball is.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really need a net. I mean, a net is only for competition, but just for the skills stuff, for sure.
Yeah.
Just growing up, like for the younger siblings, obviously you guys have an older sister. Do you guys feel any sense of like pressure or kind of like a shadow cast on you or anything like that?
There was at one point,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's just like a competition between all of us. It's funny. So with Ashley, we have this regional program in our area or whatever. So when Ash made that team, I said when I'm old enough to like be able to try out for that team, I have to make it and I have to medal. So I'd be above Ash. And I feel like that goes for all of us.
Yeah.
And Maddy had the same thing. But the thing was, like the end result was I ended up with a silver in regionals and Maddy ended up with a silver. So we were kind of tied on that end. But then,
Ash wasn't.
yeah, me and Maddy kind of down talk Ash. It's just like,
Guys, I could have won if only that free ball didn't just hit the ground. Could have made it to a medal round.
but there was some shoes to fill because it's kind of like, honestly, for me, I started off being known as Ashley Vang's sister, Ashley Vang's sister. And then I eventually kind of made a name for myself in a sense. But then now I'm back into like, oh, you're Maddy Vang's sister. So, I mean, there's no, oh, you're Jordan's sister. But I mean,
Okay.
Maddy, can you speak on that a little bit? You being the youngest.
Yeah, for me, I think there was shoes to fill in because I was the younger. I was always told, oh, you got to be better than your sisters, or you got to try to like push harder than they do. So like whenever sometimes they had tournaments, and I always wished to have tournaments to get opportunities like that. I never could go to them. But then even I was very small, so I was smaller than both of them. And so I got like looked as I couldn't play volleyball because I was too small. So I definitely had a lot of shoes I had to fill.
What about you, Ash? Following your, your older sister, and obviously your dad. Did you feel any sense of pressure? Any sense of,
Yeah, definitely. Like watching my older sister, she was really good. And it was unfortunate the way her volleyball career ended, but I definitely felt like the pressure to the need to be better or to be good and succeed. But there was also like the pressure of like not wanting to disappoint like my dad, because like he put in so much time and effort into like training me that I was just like, I can't just let that all go to waste. So there's definitely a pressure to kind of like succeed and kind of excel in volleyball. Like that was always there. But yeah.
How did you at that age realize, like, because a lot of young folks, they don't realize like, okay, there's a lot of people invested in me. I can't let these people down. How did you develop that mentality where, okay, my dad is putting all this work and I can't let him down? When did you start thinking like that?
Yeah, so I guess like for me, the turning point, I definitely, when I was thinking like that was maybe when I started playing around 14U, or when I was like 14 years old, I guess, because I started playing when I was 9, competitive ball when I was 9. So at 14U here, that's when ball starts to get really competitive and teams start to develop as a whole and they tend to grow. So I think like that for me was when I kind of start to realize, okay, this right here is the time for me to start being better, to start improving, and to start pushing myself to be the best that I could be. So yeah, that was definitely the turning point for me. And yeah.
Did your dad have a lot of these conversations with you? Obviously, the parents, when they invest in you, they're always talking to you about, look, you need to do better. You need to do better. Did that kind of hit home as well too?
So here's the thing with my dad that I would like to share. You will never ever, even to this day, I've never received a compliment from my dad about how well I played. Like I've never received it. Like he's never told me like that I was good. He's never said I did anything well. He would after every tournament or after every kind of like training thing, he would be like, this is what you did wrong. This is what you need to fix. This is where you need to do better. It was never, oh, you did a good job at this, or you hit some good balls. It was more like, okay, your hitting sucked. Your passing was garbage. You know what I mean? And again, that's where that like mental toughness comes in, where it's like, it's not because like at the time I was like kind of like sad because I was like, okay, well, my dad is saying that I suck, so like I guess I must suck. But but like after you like I realize now that he did that for a reason, and that reason was like to push me to be better, to focus on like I mean, obviously it's good to focus on all the positives that you do, but you also want to focus on the things that you can improve on and what to do next and how to be better. So like, yeah, to this day, still haven't received a
Okay.
volleyball, but it's fine.
I'm the same way. I can speak on that a little bit. I'm not saying it's wrong or it's right. I can definitely speak on why I do it. I don't know if your dad's comfortable talking about why he does it. I could definitely talk about why I do it, and I definitely tell my son why I do it, and it's just sometimes like kids, they like to act like they're weak, but they're really strong. You know what I mean? Like they can really pick themselves up. It's just a matter of being pushed. They look for an easy way out just because it's easy, Like I can't speak on your case, but I could definitely speak on my son. He looks for a way out, but when you give him no way out, when you push him against the wall, he always bounces back. He always responds, and like I see that as toughness, the way he responds. So like the kid that like for him, I see that he doesn't really need like that cushion, you know what I mean? Like I can give him that negative reinforcement and he can bounce back. And I kind of trust him to bounce back, and he kind of responds better in that way. But definitely, like I said, like like I told my son, you're not the only one going through this. Like, there's people out there going through worse. Like I'm yelling at you because it doesn't mean that I think you suck. It's because I think you could do a lot better. You just have to respond. And I think there's a level of conviction that your dad has for you guys, and obviously it shows because you guys are high level athletes. So it's I think I should say we speak in a negative manner, but ultimately we want to produce the best out of you. And everybody's different. Like I feel like I could push my son's button a little bit. My daughter is a little bit different, so, so definitely. Yeah. I know that's like long-winded answer.
That makes sense. I get it.
I got your dad's back.
and then what Pheng said, Jordan, and then Ashley, you see that your dad kind of like let his foot off the pedal with Jordan and Maddy a little bit. You said like they're not as tough. Okay. I wonder why is that? I think you must be the guinea pig. I swear, it's just like
I think so, man. I mean, like there were times like my dad, like he's still on Jordan and Maddy all the time. You know what I mean? Like, there were times in the gym where like Jordan and my dad, they butt heads, and then one person would have to leave the gym. You know what I mean?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.
One person
We
would have
are
to
very alike. Me and my father
both
are
very like
alike.
hot-headed.
Why is Jordan always doing that? Jordan, you always
like my dad's like mini me twin or something. I don't know, but yeah, like my dad was still very like I guess you could say like disciplined with them. But again, I think it's just a guinea pig thing where he kind of like I think he learned like that Maddy and Jordan were a little bit more like sensitive, that he had to kind of like ease back a little bit when giving them feedback. Like with me, it was more like you take a jab at me, fine, whatever, I'll take it.
Right. I also see that the way you guys play in some of your videos and highlights, you guys are so disciplined. It's like I think like the way you guys play is so disciplined because you guys are going through the same motions all the time, and it takes practice. And practice teaches discipline, and I think that's what your dad would, or your dad ain't paying them. They're just trying to get at. I guess it's just accountability and just being disciplined at your craft. I think, you know what I mean. So I don't think you guys have a problem with motivation at all because you guys do want to be the best, but You know, I think they're just teaching you guys like the basics, just being accountable for everything you do and just being disciplined and not letting up. And look at you guys now, so playing at the highest level and being the best you. So
Yeah. Well, we were definitely yeah, my dad was really honest about like our technique and and
Oh, yeah.
form. Yeah,
Mhm.
like he would
Not
even
so
like
much
record us like when we're
passing.
hitting and be like, and he would record us and like
Mhm.
tell us, oh, like here you're going too early, or you're under the ball, or you're hitting at your ear, or
Mhm.
he likes to call it like I used to always do. We like to call like the reverse like swing. Is that what it's called, George? Like when I just snap my hand like back or
Ash would always snap her hand this way instead of
Yeah.
this way for some odd reason.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay. You guys would break that down for like hours, just like doing that particular move.
Yeah, for real. Like I literally just like at home, like every time I played, it was like snap your damn wrist. Like that's all it was. Like, but I always did the opposite. I don't know why. It's just,
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a level of like, you know, a level of like a level of like it's about him, like it's about us, right? Us as parents, like man, we did not receive this when we were kids.
yeah.
You know, like playing sports was actually looked as like, oh, you should not be playing sports, like that's dangerous, or you know, like our parents told us not to play sports. You know, there's definitely a level of that, and you know, and a level of like, if I could get my kids this, give them that, then they can be ahead, you know. And so yeah, like it, you know, I totally feel like from where your dad's coming from is like, if I record them, break it down like this, break it down like that, you know, it definitely, you know, or they're gonna gain an advantage and whatnot. And they miss a day of practice, like, oh Lord, like, you're gonna suck for life, you know.
Yeah.
If you really look at, you know, from his perspective, it's really difficult too, you know, just trying to like get you guys, you know, on a certain path and try to have you guys succeed at a high level. You know, it's definitely a level of stress that comes with it too, as parents. So yeah, don't blame them. Just like try to understand them. as hard as it is.
Yeah, it's easier for the kids to understand the parents than the other way around. I'll tell you that. I want to ask Maddy. Maddy, how did you develop that all-around game that you have, that setting and the hitting wise? How did you develop all that? Was that, you know, something that you always wanted to do, or did you like one position better than the other? How did you develop that?
So when I first started, I was too small, so I was never able to be at the front court. So I was a libero. And then when I grew up and I moved teams, I was more like open to hitting and setting, but I wasn't really good at setting at the time because I was still learning how to set. So it just took a lot of practice with my dad and trying to figure out setting, being smaller, pushing the ball out, really working on strengthening your fingers and all of that. He kept telling me to do finger push-ups on the wall to become stronger.
Wow.
And
finger push-ups, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
And
So-
that. Oh, go ahead.
So yeah, that's just how I just became well-rounded
Okay.
by becoming a libero and then setting and hitting.
And I noticed that your footwork, you're so quick to the ball as a setter. Like you get to everything. And then your hands are like, holy cow. You got like some really, really strong fingers. Like you're basically setting from one side to the other side, and you're basically just like, it looks effortless. Is it effortless, or is it just like something that your dad just taught you? You practice it so much that it's just natural, or what's up with that?
Yeah, my dad always taught me to like get there, set my feet, and just relax, and then it'll all go through. Like I don't have to force it. If I force it, it'll be really like an ugly set. So he just said, set your feet, get there, relax, then set the ball.
He always says, feel the ball.
Yeah.
That's one of the things he always says, feel the ball, or let the ball come to you.
Do you guys even know what the heck that means when he said it? back then.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it just looked very effortless coming out of your fingers. I mean, you're one of the few setters I've seen that you're straight up. You're not even bringing the ball back. You're just like pushing it out like that, straight from the wherever the position is. Is that how you were taught, or is that just something that you're comfortable with?
That was how I was taught.
Okay.
Taught to just right there.
Yeah. It's I say it's very deceptive too, the way that you set, like you don't know where it's going because it looks the same all the time, whether you're setting it backwards, frontward, or right in front of you. It always looks the same. Is that something that you guys broke down as well too, or is that just happens to be that way?
Oh yeah, it's something to like you get broken down, like keeping your hands like neutral, and then like that's when you make like the quick change, like while you're doing it. So it's just like something small, but like very crucial.
Yeah. So, okay. So just a lot of young setters out there who are learning how to set. Part of it is just trying to throw the other team off too, just by keeping the technique or whatever the same all the time.
Yeah, consistency. Yeah.
So it kind of throws people off, so they can't really, predict what you guys are doing. So that's what I kind of saw the way you were setting. It looked the same all the time, whether you're setting away from the net, close to the net, backwards, forward. It's like, man, this girl, it looks the same all the time. So
finger push-ups.
Finger push-ups. That's what it is. Finger push-ups.
Yeah. You want to go to the questions?
Yeah. Should we? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go see some of the comments. A lot of people are saying hi. Kim says hi.
Hey Kim, shout out to Kim. She's the best. Miss her.
Yeah, I know Kim, and she won first place recently too at Labor Day in Oshkosh.
Yeah, she's killing it. I need her autograph.
Okay, it says your uncle Derek is 6'3", and Dang is 6'2", and Sue is
off by 1 inch.
Wow, see, is that the uncle on your mom's side?
Yeah.
Okay, you see, they're tall, man, and they play too, right?
They did. Yeah, they used to. They don't play no more.
Okay. Learning how your opponents play is key by Catherine. Hi,
that's
girl.
Our older sister.
Yeah, that's our older sister.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
our older sister.
Okay, and it says, a lot of highs and finger push-ups. Speaking of your sister, can someone talk a little bit about your sister? I mean,
tell her to log on.
Yeah, well, I can. She's here. I'll text her right now. But so
give her the link.
Her name's Kat. Kat, I guess it was the real guinea pig.
Okay.
Okay. She was like
how many years are you guys apart, Ashley, between you and Kat? Just a couple?
3 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was like the real guinea pig, I guess you could say. She was like the trial and error. Like she was the first one to play club ball. And she played libero for the KW Predators at the time, and she was really good. And one of the biggest challenges for her was playing time. Essentially, she was always competing for playing time against the coach's daughter. So yeah, so then there was the year where she sat down with my dad, I guess, and she said that she didn't want to play for him anymore. And then she decided to look elsewhere. She tried out for other teams, and they didn't want to take her, even though she was so good, because they didn't want to start anything with the coach that she was currently with. So then after that, she kind of just made the decision to not play anymore, and then that was that.
Okay. How old was she during this time? Like high school?
Yeah, like middle school, high school.
Okay. Wow.
Kat, you want to come join?
She's right there. Tell her to come in. Give her the link.
Yeah, you want to join?
Come in, Kat.
Yeah, she can sit with you.
Yeah, Ash and Kat share a room, so I mean.
Yeah. Join in the squad. It's okay, I look gross too.
Hi, Kat.
What's up, Kat?
Hi, nice to meet you all.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Kat. Welcome to the program. We heard a lot of good stuff about you. Yeah. we heard a lot of stuff about you. Tell us some of the training that you went through, or you endured, or you overcame with your dad. But are all these stories true, or are they just hyping themselves up?
Oh no,
Yo,
all of it was true.
we're the keeper.
Yeah, but a lot of like the stuff that my dad and engraved in us was always like basics. It was definitely tough.
Yeah.
Even like seeing how he trains my two sisters now, I'm like, damn,
I
like
got it.
even like some of the consequences, it's like that's it. Like you're doing just like 5 at a time where it was like double, so
Mhm.
it would like instead of 4 you're doing 8, and then instead of 8 the next one you're 16, and if you make another error you're 32, so like
Yeah.
it's just
Wow.
adding up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, were you ever like, did you ever like get so mad at your dad? You're just like, you know what, I'm done with this guy. Like, have you ever felt like that? Did he push you to that point at times?
No, like it was like definitely like you hated it, like, but I've never felt like I'm done with this guy, like I just want to walk off the court. It was more so like, okay, like what can I do to stop getting these errors? So then it's like, eventually because you keep making these errors, you try so hard to like correct it so that you don't have to do it. You start minimizing those errors and you start being more technical, because all that like he wasn't just looking for minimized errors but technique. Like, if it's not going to that 2.5, that's not a perfect pass. It has to be there, because you want to, at the end of the day, you're trying to minimize the work for your setter. You don't want your setter to be all over the court, because then essentially you're tiring out everybody. Like you want to minimize all the errors, be technical, so that you're not working as hard, you're not sweating as hard, you're playing like a tight game.
Yeah.
That's
wow, your dad really broke it down to a T, like to the very, I guess, inch, or the very last beat, just to preserve just to preserve energy, or to preserve a movement that does not have to be made if like you guys were to take care of whatever you guys had to do. Wow. Yeah. Did you guys ever think about, now have you guys ever played Hmong volleyball and then made your own team? So there's 4 of you right here.
We don't play good at it, like
That's not your style.
Not work out well.
So we've been down to like Michigan a few times as a team. Like we've always tried to bring a Canadian team with like either the 4 of us, or we have lots of girl cousins that play as well. But like at the time, like we would bring a whole Canadian team up to play and play with like all the Michigan girls out there at tournaments. We took first place in Michigan on one of their 4 versus 4.
Yeah, but that was just us 4 sisters.
Yeah, so we
weren't even planning on going. We just showed up.
Okay.
Our dad was like, "We're going to Michigan." We're like, "Oh, okay." So we just packed up our stuff and drove to Michigan.
So shout out to
shout out to the Michigan fans.
Okay.
Inviting us.
Yeah.
What about two versus 2 right now? Maddy and Jordan versus the 2 older sisters.
Oh, we do that all the time.
We do that all the time.
I think I saw one of your videos on YouTube. You guys are playing 2-on-2. You guys look pretty serious out there.
What do you think?
So
what do you think, Maddy?
Yeah.
What do you think? You more time than not? Do you guys win or what?
We always win. Me and Jordan.
Always.
And then those older sisters start cheating and stuff, right? They start miscounting the scores and stuff.
Yeah. Ashley
not even
call the score.
They call the sets, call everything, right?
Yeah. Ash is the one to call us out the most, though.
Because you guys cheat.
No, we don't.
We just play smarter.
No. Bro, you're me. You never serve me. You always serve Kat. That's why.
That's the point.
Play smart, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we only play 2-on-2 because like there's not a lot of people that play here. So either we play against each other or that's it.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Now, I want to ask, when you guys say you practice or train with your dad, can you guys like walk us through like a session? Like how long are the practices, the training, how many days a week, and what are you guys like working on? Can you guys
It's been a while.
break that down?
You guys
It's been
want
a
like
long time.
indoor or like outdoor? Like
Oh, really?
If
Okay.
if you want to go back and think about that
Flashback.
stuff.
A long time since that.
Yeah. Well, why don't you break down both of them? There's different trainings for indoor and outdoors.
Yes.
Okay. Can you break down?
Drills.
Can you share it so our audience at home maybe they could like do it as well too? So what do you guys do?
Yeah.
I
Indoor.
can talk about it.
Yeah, you go.
Maddy probably remembers way better than both of us.
Yeah, I haven't played indoor like.
So
Okay.
indoor
Trained with that for a
training,
while.
indoor training, we did lots of defense digging. So that's when my dad pounded the ball on us a lot.
Okay.
So we did like 5, 6, 1 defense, and then we got to do some hitting. But a lot of it was like, if you made a mistake, you would always have like a punishment to make. Like there's always be like a punishment. Like serving, if you miss a serve, you have to do 5 burpees. If you don't do it, like if you keep missing your serve, it doubles 5, 10, 15, like Kat said. And then digging, if you shank, if it's not a good pass, if it's a shank, you have to do burpees again too, or frog jumps, which were the
Oh
worst.
god, I think they're the worst.
So a
frog
good
jumps
pass
were-
meaning like it has to be in like a certain area.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it has to be.
Be like
a certain
high
area
enough to.
So like he'd do like 2 balls, he'd hit one first, and then the other one you have to chase it and go and run and get it. The first ball always counts. So like he'd want the first ball before the second ball.
Okay.
Even though the second ball he'd toss like across the other side of the gym. So you have to touch both balls though in order to
not
get
do,
a
yeah.
When we first started this, we would like just shank the first one right away and start running to get the second ball. We'd be like, it's okay if we shank the first ball, we'll just get the
Right.
second ball.
Right.
And then my dad caught on and was like, you have to, if you have to make the first one like a good pass, and then the
Yeah.
second one just touch it. You don't have to make it a good pass as long as you touch it. Yeah, we would do like indoor, we would always do hitting from back row, like we'd always start from 6 and like hit back row balls, and then we progress to hitting out in the front on the outside, and our dad would actually stand behind us while we're in power, or left side I guess you could say, and he would toss behind us, and then we'd have to track the ball from being thrown behind us and hitting the ball in front of us.
Okay.
Yeah, to keep the ball in front of us, and then so we'd hit balls from behind us on the left side, and then he'd move back to the front, and we hit regular balls in the front, and then we would hit 2 balls at the same, like you would hit 2 balls, but you would have to start on your stomach.
Oh
And then,
wow.
yeah, you start on the
Oh,
stomach,
you
on your
started on your
stomach,
stomach. Oh, I
Yeah.
did not.
ball, you get up, hit the first ball, and then you have to transition outside and then quickly go back in to hit the second. Yeah, that's
Okay.
That one was hard
Really
in the middle when you would hit what, a 50,
You would
and
hit
then he would
3.
make you hit a 30, like a 3.
Yeah.
You hit a 5 and then a 3,
yeah.
and then he'd even add in another 5.
Okay.
To go
Yeah, there were times when he would
Constantly
like you have to hit 3 balls in a row. So it's like you hit outside, you come in for a middle, then you transition back out for an outside, and like you had to hit all 3 balls. If you didn't hit all 3 balls, like you're doing something like.
Right. And
And
then
it wasn't about like hitting the balls perfect or hitting them harder in. It was more about focusing on the footwork.
okay.
So, like being
Yeah.
able to get that proper left, right, left, and then
The footwork,
transitioning out.
yeah.
It was it was about the speed and the footwork. And then once we kind of understood the footwork, we started to
easier.
it started to get easier, and we executed a lot better after
Okay.
we practiced that footwork.
How long did that take for you guys to catch on?
A long time.
Long time, but now I forgot it too. To be
To this
honest,
day, I still try and
cannot
practice.
do it. I cannot hit a 50 and then a 30.
It's only 2 steps.
Yeah.
By that, all you need is a left, right,
Yeah.
and you're up.
Too explosive, yeah.
Yeah, there were times when he'd be like, it's only you only need 2 steps. It's a 2-step approach, or like you're doing 3-step. It's
Yeah. Just the 2-step makes you faster, but you've gotta get down low and just like explode up.
I'm pretty sure he probably stopped practice a couple of times and just was like, why can't you guys get it? Right? And then you're just, how would you guys respond to that? Like, would you guys just try harder, or you guys just like, man, I don't know what I'm doing? Do you guys ever question him? Why are we doing this?
So the thing was, the word can't was not a vocabulary you're allowed to use. Because he said, there's no such thing as you can't. Because you can.
Right.
You can do it.
I forgot about that.
Forgot about that too.
You can say, you can't do this. It was, you can do this. You can't. There wasn't. He would say, "There's no such thing as you can't."
Yeah.
Mhm.
He
You
would
just
say that
have
every
to.
time at a practice.
Hundreds
of times.
Who would always say, I can't?
Jord.
I knew it.
Every single time. Every single time Jord would like hit the net, like every time she would hit and she'd hit the net, he goes, "Why are you hitting the net?" Like she goes, "I can't hit clean." Like every single time he's like,
Oh, it's too low. No such thing. Oh boy. There's a real debate.
You said it on purpose, didn't you? knowing that it would trigger him.
Yeah.
There's
And
some
then
ways
indoor
I-
was that's pretty much indoor. And then we would do like little games, like
Okay.
2-on-2, 3-on-3, or whatever. And then
Did you ladies ever like get sick of it and like challenge him 1-on-1 or something like that?
No, we never had the opportunity.
it was kind of just like a routine. It was just a thing. It was like, okay, you get in the gym, these are the drills you're doing, you do it,
Yeah.
and then it's like repeat.
Yeah, it was more so like, when can we just play? Like, when can we just play with?
That was like the
Yeah,
gist.
right?
is
And then it
when
was-
can we just play?
Because there's not a very big girl population that plays volleyball
Yeah.
here. It was always like, if you want to play, you gotta hop on the court and play against your
With the
uncle, because
guys,
then
yeah.
they can pound the ball on you. You gotta play against the guys to get pounded on, so you know how it feels to get
Yes.
pounded on, and
Yeah.
and to like motivate you to want to be better. So even though we were doing all these drills, it was just like, when can we play? And then when we're playing, it's like, oh shoot, like we have to get back to the drawing board, because like we just got pounded on and couldn't even keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, what do we do next? Like, how do we get better?
Right.
Do you guys have a high school program?
It's not as
did
like
you-
good as it is in the States,
Okay.
like sports, in
Yeah.
my opinion. So like
Okay.
everything in the States is like way better sports wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas here it's kind of like sports.
Yeah.
It's like we have like one volleyball team for one high school, and that's it. It's not like,
Okay.
I know like you guys have like different or multiple
yeah.
Yeah, like the
teams, high
JV
school, something
varsity
like that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours
Ours
is just like a
one
junior,
team.
senior team.
Hockey's still a big thing up there, right?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
super big thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are playing a sport that's kind of like, it's very odd. Like not a lot of people have a lot of backing or support to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay. Jordan and Ashley, since you guys transitioned from high school ball, club ball to college ball, can you guys tell us the difference between the level of competition between playing club and playing high school, and then going over to college where everyone could play? Can you guys talk about the level of competition? Do you guys notice the difference, or is it kind of like, okay, it's kind of the same?
Ash can start. Ash, you can start. You've been playing longer than I have.
Okay. For me, it was definitely an eye opener.
Mhm.
For sure. It's a different game. Like
Yeah.
you got girls that are just giants, like,
Mhm.
and they all know how to play. Whereas like
Right.
with club, it's like you get the occasional like really, really tall person and one like a couple like the every odd person that's really, really good. But when I transitioned from club to college ball, or we call it university here, it was definitely an eye opener and something that I personally thought, I was like, okay, I'm behind. Like
Mhm.
I'm not at the same
Wow.
level as these girls. Even though that I made it, it was into playing university ball. It was like I'm not there yet.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's how deep the competition is. Even though you put in all the hours with your dad, you went up there, these girls are just like way advanced.
Yeah. I was just like, you know what? Like I need to put in some more work. I need to, or not more work, but even like double the work that I was already putting in to even be able to compete at this level. Just because it was so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Jordan?
Ooh, my first year into college, because I went to go like down to States to play. My first year,
NCAA Division
I
One.
went to play in a D1 university.
Okay.
It was an interesting journey per se.
Yeah.
A lot of those girls were my age, so it was a new team, and I think it was a big culture shock too, as well, because I went to an HBCU. I'm pretty sure you guys know what that is, right? Yeah. So I went to an HBCU, and it's kind of like very different because my schedule had to change entirely because it was more so revolved around volleyball.
Okay.
So it was like wake up, volleyball, and then like probably work out, eat, the school. But the transition from I felt as though the competition wasn't that great of a change for me there. Like it kind of felt the same as I was like playing club and stuff. But then coming here to McMaster, the girls here in this area are way bigger. So like they're putting up way bigger blocks here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I need to catch up to like I'm on the same aspect as Ashes. I need to catch up. I need to work harder. I need to hit the gym more often in order to compete with the rest of my teammates because I'm one of the shorter ones too.
As a hitter too, are you playing the outside?
Yeah.
Hitter? Okay.
I'm one of the shorter hitters.
Now you talk about you transferred back. What happened there? Was there like a decision you just had to make, or?
It was mainly purely because of academics.
Okay.
I wanted a more like academically rigorous program, like college program. So I decided to transfer back to Canada for this like family support as well, because Delaware's a far away.
Yeah.
Like it's a long way from home.
You said Delaware, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very boring state.
That's like the furthest northeast, way up there.
Yeah.
When you spoke about culture shock, can you talk a little bit about that? What did you mean by that?
With that being like an HBCU, I never knew what an HBCU was till I actually experienced it for myself. Yeah. So like the environment and the vibe, it's very different from what I've experienced like at like school and stuff.
Yeah. So
like there are a lot of people that party. Like there's like parties thrown all the time, and I'm like, whoa, what? And there's also just like, I don't know, like that kind of like hype, like the way they hype each other up there is like really fun too. Yeah. It was like a really nice thing.
Yeah. So it's just like whatever they were doing, it was just something that you weren't accustomed to. Just the way the lifestyle sort of.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a learning experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well. And then, Maddy, what did you think about your sister's experience and them going through this experience already? Are you picking their brains, and are they giving you pointers and things like that?
What not to
do? Well, I definitely got pointers from Jordan the most from like her experience from the States, because that's what I want to go into. Like I want to look into the US and play post-secondary there. So like I caught on like when talking to some coaches, like the questions that or like the stuff that she went through, I asked questions about that to the coaches. So it's like she got to experience it and she knows what it's like, and then I can apply it and go from what she experienced. So then I can apply it, and then that's pretty much what I learned from them.
Okay. And then I know that last year with the pandemic, you kind of missed out on the whole season. Was there any volleyball at all last season during the pandemic?
Yeah, there was volleyball like before. Like we made it to Kentucky right before they started to close everything. So that was like our last thing. But we kind of got our season canceled right before our big tournaments, like our provincials and our nationals and our Grand Prix. Like those were like the biggest tournaments and like the hypest ones. And then for volleyball,
Those where a lot of the recruits and the coaches come to too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's where everyone scouts, and it's like the biggest thing that's like known. Like everyone in the like KW region like knows that at Rim Park, that's where we host provincials every year. So that's like where everyone goes. But for the pandemic, like practices, we kind of got like it was on and off, so it was really hard to find like gyms to practice in.
Yeah. Now and then, are you looking at? Do you have your eyes set on any particular university or colleges or any destination right now for your post-secondary?
Right now, no. It's a lot harder. With the pandemic, it was like the recruiting got slower and it just was harder because a lot of people stayed for like their extra eligibility year or all of that. So right now I'm just seeing where going with the flow, seeing where it goes and all that.
Yeah. And then with Ashley and Jordan, do you guys plan on playing professionally, like maybe overseas or anything like that? Or are you guys just going to see wherever it takes you in North America?
For me, it's definitely crossed my mind, but I personally like where I'm at now. I don't think I'm good enough. Like I'm not there yet or at the professional level. So for me, like I would like to, and if by some chance it does happen to come by and become an option, then yeah, like I'm all for it. But right now I'm kind of just going with the flow. And I got a new job. So I'm doing I'm doing school, volleyball, and working. So
wow.
With my career, yeah, thank you. Hopefully with my career, it kind of takes off.
Okay. But volleyball will always be a part of you guys, no matter what, at whatever level.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, whatever level it's going to be. Like, even like my dad always said, when Kat was like deciding to like give up and quit, and even when I wanted to quit too, he was like, you know what? It's your decision. Volleyball's always going to be there. You know what I mean? You could play it anywhere, anytime, any place. You just need a ball and a net. That's all you need. So it's always going to be there. So, yeah.
Then what about you, Jordan? What's your aspirations in regards to the game?
Yeah, I've actually that's my first career path, honestly, to play pro. And with choosing McMaster as a university, they have a great volleyball program here, well funded, and they have a lot of like former like volleyball alumni that are playing pro, and some are even on the national team. So that's kind of a plus. But I even talked to my one assistant coach about it. I honestly have the potential to go pro. There's just some little things that I need to work on along the way. But yeah, my overall goal is to play pro.
Awesome. We'll be looking for you. And it's good to have that support system out there too. Go ahead, Pheng.
Yeah.
What are you guys pursuing in university or college?
Oh, I am doing a psychology major, and then I'm doing a minor in marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm majoring in kinesiology, and I'm most likely gonna minor in business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like keep it around sports,
kinetics
and stuff for sure. That's quite impressive. I think just for you guys to make it this far, truly the pioneers for our Hmong athletes as well too, because I think that your dad has a lot to do with it too, pushing you guys and making you guys believe that you can do it as well too. I think that's so underrated sometimes. The parents, like what my brother Pheng said, sometimes the parents are very hard on their kids, but when the kids succeed, then they'll realize, okay, wow, all that work, all that 4 a.m. in the morning, all that jog, all that weightlifting, it all comes down to like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's so fast. It's crazy sometimes how much athletes train and they only compete for like a day or like a tournament or
Yeah.
like in the Olympic. Like you see these guys training for 4 years or training for years, and they go and compete and run like 10 seconds and they're done. And like, holy cow, it's
Yeah.
just it's crazy. Yeah.
What other stuff do you guys like to do other than volleyball?
It's kind of hard.
Uh,
Are you guys around like other sports? You guys pick up other sports, or is it primarily volleyball? Or
primarily volleyball right
Primarily
now.
volleyball, yeah. Like
Yeah.
our life literally like revolves around
Revolves
volleyball.
around
Like eat,
volleyball.
sleep, breathe volleyball. It's like honestly, I feel like it's like the only thing that we ever do. To be
Yeah,
honest.
besides school.
Like-
But like honestly, with my classes being like asynchronous, I do throw in like a little gaming session for like an hour or so, and then
okay.
it's kind of back to studying. But yeah.
What are you playing? What do you play?
I play League of Legends right now. Yeah.
Okay. League of Legends. I think my nephew only play that. They're always talking
I do like
crap on
Jordan
the.
and I do like the occasional like fishing whenever
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because definitely, being, you know, I have a son that's really into sports, and definitely, you know, I always try to have him balance it out, you know, between sports and just his time, like whether it's gaming or just, I don't know, annoying his little sister. I don't know. You know, so
True.
definitely.
yeah.
Well, I want to ask is how are you guys balancing like your academics? Do you guys put as much into your academics as sport? Are you guys like going hard at it, or is it academics is more natural for you guys where you don't have to work as hard?
With it
Jordan,
being my second year, it's
Mhm.
way easier than my first year. So like once you kind of like go through your first year or whatever in
Mhm.
university, it gets easier as you go because you
Yeah.
kind of pick up things as in like time management, scheduling, and all
Mm.
that. So it's honestly been easier than it was last year for me,
Mm.
although everything is online again here for me.
Okay.
But it comes naturally in a sense too.
Okay.
So.
What about you, Ashley? How is studying and how are you balancing all that?
for me, I definitely have to put in a little bit more work when it comes to like my academics.
Mhm.
For me, it's again, academics is always number one. Volleyball always comes second, right? I'm gonna be honest. My first year of university definitely sucked. It was definitely an eye opener,
Mhm.
and I kind of like learned that when you get to university, it's not all about doing well, like and getting like high 90s.
Yeah.
For me, it's like if you can just make it past that like 70, like you're okay.
Yeah, for
'Cause,
sure.
like, you know, like in high school, it's like, okay, you need to get like 90s, 80s, whatever, you know, you got to get above average. And then when you get to university, it's like, if you can just get like that B plus, that's
Mhm.
okay too. Like, or
Yeah.
even a C plus, let's be real.
C's get degrees.
Yeah, but like definitely it takes a lot of time management and a lot of like sacrifice and discipline. Especially if you're playing volleyball. Like I know Jordan knows this too, but our schedules are like pretty crazy. It's like you gotta go, it's like you wake up early in the morning, you're in the gym lifting weights. And then after that, it's like you gotta one-on-one practice with your coach. And then after that practice, it's like you go to class. And then after class, it's like you're back in the gym, but this time with your team practicing. And then it's like staying up late to catch up on all the like study time and homework stuff. And then it's just like repeat. And then it's like if you're traveling on the road or like flying out somewhere to play, it's like you're doing schoolwork on the plane, on the bus, like anywhere you can get time to like
Wow.
catch your breath to do
Yeah.
stuff. Like I was even writing exams in like a hotel room. Like
Wow.
Yeah.
like
So it's not even fun. You're just like, okay.
yeah, it's very like it's like everything is like to the T. Like you have to really be on top of it. Like I remember I flew out west and my flight landed back at like 6 p.m. and then right after 6 p.m. I like quickly drove back to write an exam that I had at 9.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, I didn't even study. I was like studying on the plane before I went to my exam because we just finished a game, and then we're out off back flying back to school. So
Yeah. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
takes a lot of time management.
For sure. For sure. Maddy, are you excited for that life? Just the way they explain it, it's just gonna be so time consuming.
Nope, I'm not excited for that. I feel like I might like have a little bit of a struggle in the first year, but I think like just after the first year, it's always like you get it. You start to like realize like this is what it's gonna be like. It's getting real. Like this is what it is. So,
yeah.
Right
I'll
now,
tell you this,
sucks.
Maddy.
just
After that, it's a breeze.
yeah.
In the NCAA though, Maddy, I will tell you this. They do have mandatory study hall hours just for the student athletes that like they have to complete within a week. I believe
Yeah,
that's for
I had
every
that too.
school. So
I
like
saw-
we had a minimum of 8 hours a week. So literally after we would practice, we would eat and then we would all head to study hall. Just to, like,
so they reserve that 8 hours for you guys to do your thing, your school, where they can't touch you. You cannot do any athletics and any weight training. That's for school.
Yep, it's just all school.
Okay, that's pretty cool that they built that in.
Yeah, this
Otherwise,
is high and dry.
okay. Otherwise, outside of those 8 hours, you guys are like basically like tied. Your hands are tied. You guys got to do all these volleyball stuff, and sometimes it's not even like training or stuff, right? It's like there's like outings. There's like
there's
stuff that you guys got to go to, and just things like that too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Catherine, how do you try to help your younger sisters, walk that life?
Yeah, well, like before COVID, actually me and my dad, we were actually helping out Maddy's club team. So we would run like a practice just to do like strictly hitting with her team. And it would just be like me and my dad tossing balls for her team. Like I would just toss the balls and my dad's there like analyzing Maddy and all of her teammates on their swinging, just to get that extra like coaching experience from my dad that like her coach wanted some more perspective on. So yeah, we would just run these sessions to help them out and just give her tips and just getting like more touch time.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Ben. Do you give them like, I know they're your younger sister, but do you like give them pointers and tell them what they're doing and things like that too, since you were a former player yourself?
Oh yeah, like I'll definitely, like I was a libero, so like when it comes to passing, like I find like I'm very like all about that technique. Sometimes when like we're playing or I'm watching them play and I'm like, that pass wasn't to like the 2.5 where I'm so like nitpicky about getting it to that spot. So I'll be like, why is your platform like so weird looking? Like it wasn't go, like your platform was off because the ball definitely didn't go to where it needed to go. So like just giving tips like that. And just like like I'm not that much of a hitter, so like sometimes getting like hitting perspective, it's not really my go-to. So I just like leave that up to them because that's what they're trained in. But definitely with passing, like I give as much pointers as I can.
Okay. And then
do you have the authority to make them do burpees?
No.
And no.
Good one.
No.
Good one.
Like you can't
I
just
did
be
when
like
they
that.
were like younger and couldn't talk back.
Yeah. You can't just be like, no, that wasn't good enough. 30 burpees.
Cat training me.
So your cat like on the side being like, that's not good. Like why? The cat would be like that's garbage or like whatever. And then whenever you hear Kat say that, you're just like, whatever. Like
Cat's training was
or it's like,
scary when I was
or
little.
like we'll just be like, show us then.
Cat's training when I was little, I asked her to teach me how to pass or whatever. And she was trying to teach me how to deflect the ball. And she said maybe like 3 or 4 feet away and told me to put my hands up by my face like this, and she hit the ball at my face as hard as she could. I was so scared. Like,
She was like, get it up.
she was like, you have to put it up. And I was like, you're whacking it at my face right now. What am I supposed to do?
It's a lot of anger pent up. She just had to take it out on somebody.
You should throw a wrench at her. If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
I know. You're just trying to teach you how to
dodge
pass the
you can
ball.
dodge anything.
So whenever you guys get together, right? How long and you guys play like a little game of volleyball? How quick does it turn into like an all-out war? Like does it just
At the start.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, because the thing with our dad is every time you step onto the court, you're not playing for fun.
Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna be on the court, you better be playing 110%. If you're not
Yes.
gonna bother playing that, get off the court.
Okay. So as soon as you guys step on that court, you guys know what's up.
It's on. There are times when like, we weren't playing serious, and he'd tell us to get off the court.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
he doesn't
does-
hold back.
Does it get pretty heated? Do you guys like go at it right away?
Yeah, I mean it's competitive. Like we're really competitive, and then like in a sense we're like we will like argue with each other on the
Who
court.
starts it? Who's the one that always initiated, and then who's the one that
Jordan.
always ends it?
Jordan. It's always Jordan.
Jordan.
It's always Jordan or Maddie. Maddie doesn't say anything, but like when Maddie gets like quiet, that's when you know
Yeah.
she's like annoyed or she's mad.
Yeah.
And like
Okay.
and she'll just be like it's not that hard, just put it up. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely sense like
You
the
can sense-
tension
yeah.
on the court. Where-
So
Now-
Jordan,
are you ladies like this off the court also? Like if
Yeah.
you guys are just playing cards or checkers or whatever.
No,
No.
it's only like
Volleyball.
volleyball where
Okay.
it's, like,
Yeah.
it's just because like with volleyball, like we have high expectations of each other and how the game is supposed to be played when we're playing with each other.
right?
But like, when we're like outside of the court and just like playing cards, it's just like whatever, you know. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Having fun.
and
Who
we can
wins,
move
awesome.
around,
wins.
but
Okay.
yeah.
We do
I
a good
just
job
wa-
at like holding each other accountable for
Right.
our actions. Like we are not afraid to call each other out if you're playing like garbage on
Yeah,
the court. Like yeah.
that's for sure. I just want to ask Jordan. Jordan, who do you always like started with on the court that gets everything going? Are you always
Who's
starting
the
with
one?
Maddy or-
Let's do this. Who's the
Take a guess.
easiest to get to? Who's the easiest to get to? Rank them.
Hey, I am like out of like the mental aspect, I'm the weakest out of all my siblings. I get heated very fast, irritated
Okay.
very fast. Because sometimes when things don't go my way, it's just like a mess. It's a mess.
Okay. And then who do you start attacking? Just like your teammate right next to you, or like someone across the court, or is it Ashley, or is it Maddy? Who you like going after?
I like Maddie's like the next in line, but Maddie's always on me too. So Maddie's always just like, Jordan, just put the ball away. And then it's like a little argument with each other.
Oh man.
Jordan and Matt have a love-hate relationship on the volleyball.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
It
Even
looks
just
like
growing
that.
up, it was always a love-hate relationship.
Yep.
Yeah.
How far are you guys apart? Just like a couple years, right?
3 years, yeah.
Years? Oh, that's not too much at all. So,
Nope.
okay. I think you guys kind of do that, and it kind of pushes one another to be better too, in a sense. If you look at it like that, you know what I mean. Bring the best out of each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to hit up some questions, Will, or are there any?
Yeah, let's look at
questions?
the-
Yeah.
Let's look at the board right here. See where. Derek says your dad's coaching is top notch.
Yeah.
I've had it
Um,
for a while.
let's see. Hello, ladies. So proud of you. Great job from Maya.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And then Sean Han said, time to draft Jordan for a J4 tournament. Have you guys ever played in Minnesota J4?
Me and Ashley have.
Okay, who
We
did you guys
actually
play
have.
with?
We played with
We're talking
Gail, Kim.
Okay,
Who else did we play?
Ross,
okay.
Joss and Sherry.
yeah, Sherry, and who else did we play?
Padra, right?
Padra.
And Gail.
What year was this? And how did you guys do?
2019? Was it
No.
2019?
No.
2018. It was the year before I left to play on the stage. So
The 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2018. We
Okay.
ran as a dream team.
Okay.
That was our first J4 experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go, and then I was never allowed to. So the
Okay.
thing with my dad is, my dad and I, we made a deal. So when we first started playing, or I first started playing, I always played in Michigan, and I would always jump on the Michigan teams because we
Right.
didn't have enough girls that would play here.
Mhm.
And so my dad said that if I could win first place at a Michigan tournament,
Mhm.
then I could go play in Wisconsin. So
Okay.
then I was like, okay, bet. So then went to Michigan, played with Everest, and
Yeah.
I played with Daisy. I think you guys all know Daisy.
Yeah.
And Daisy and I, we
Our
played.
cousin.
Yeah. And then we didn't win, but
Our
then
niece.
but we didn't win. And then I ended up meeting like a bunch of people from Wisconsin. So I met Kim and Joss. And
Okay.
then they hit me up pretty much every year after that to go play with them in Green Bay.
Mhm.
And then we ran as Game Changers, I think.
Mhm.
And then NWO
Mhm.
took third. Let us know how to play in the dark.
That was the best game ever. Woo!
Yeah, and then got invited to play J4. Played there. It was definitely a different experience for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
How so? Why? Because you guys are used to playing a certain style of like club ball, or what was the difference?
It's
So
more
much.
crowded.
yeah,
It felt crowded, like
Yeah, it
very.
felt crowded.
Okay.
very credit. It's also like a very like different game. I don't know.
Is it-
Like I don't know. How to,
Volleyball is different.
It's
yeah,
less-
volleyball is very different because
We
we
grew up playing
only
with
play
like
with white
club.
people.
Yeah.
It's less systematic probably for you guys.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
less.
Yeah, the rotation's not there. The transitioning, the spacing and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because when you play defense, and passing and whatnot, it's a lot to do with spacing and all that.
Pretty much whatever your dad taught you guys, that's out the window once you hit him like that.
Yeah, it's very different. Also, like, I don't know what it was, but like going to play Hmong volleyball, it's like, even though I'm not tall, I'm
Right.
like, wow, I feel tall.
Well, I feel that almost on
Not
a
me,
day-to-day
but like
basis.
everyone there is like so tiny. And then like
Yeah.
Jordan and I, like, we literally go and we stand beside each other. We're like, everyone is so tiny here.
Weird.
It's weird.
Okay.
but-
Okay, well, we never heard that perspective before because, we're used to going around like the Hmong tournaments and stuff. It's just interesting how you guys say that everything's so congested, so tight, and the brand of volleyball is so different from how you guys played it. So, I think it's less. I guess it's kind of true what Pheng said too. It's just more, isn't as structured. Where
Yeah, it's definitely a different
Yeah.
game, a different mindset, and a different mentality, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Did
Yeah.
it take you? Did you guys ever adjust it, or did it take you a while to adjust, or once you guys got rolling, it was all good?
For me,
took
it
me a
definitely
while.
took me a couple like times to get the swing or get back into it, I guess you could say, or get used to it or kind of adjust.
Yeah.
Like there'd be times when I'd go up to my dad, even after like playing one game in a Hmong tournament, be like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like I don't know what to do. And my dad would just say, you just need to play. Like
Mhm.
that's it. Like even though it's like different, he'll give you like a little pointers here and there, but then after that it's like you know how to play volleyball, just play.
Yeah,
So
yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
All right. Let's see here what we got. Kim says, when are you guys going to come to the States to play again?
When the border's open.
Yeah.
Well, where do you guys plan on going once the border is open? Hopefully, I don't know, sometime in the summer.
Fresno New Year. That's the new destination.
Fresno New
Where?
Year?
Yeah.
Fresno? I thought we
Ooh.
were going to
No.
NC.
No,
I
no,
thought
no,
it was NC.
no. We're doing Fresno. I changed it because I guess Goming messaged Dad
Okay.
Oh,
Facebook, and we might run with height.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a good team. So it's gonna be 3 of you guys, you, Maddy, and Jordan.
Yeah.
And then who are they running with? Who are they bringing to?
Cash, I think Cookie.
Prisma?
I don't know who else.
Okay.
We just
So you
kinda
guys are
show
going.
up. We just show up when they tell us to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Fresno this year, that's what we're gonna look forward to.
Yeah.
All
Hopefully,
right.
If the board
if the board is open for us.
Okay. Any word on that? Any update?
Nope.
Nope.
I think they're still closed for us Canadians to come over.
Yeah. We're only allowed to go over if it's like an essential travel.
Really?
Man, I think it should be the other way around. You Canadians are good. Us people in the States, man, I don't know.
I
We're
mean,
all
you
over
guys,
the
the
place.
borders are open for you guys. You guys can come here anytime.
That is very true.
Oh,
I'll even
really?
host a tournament if you want. Bring the guys
Okay.
over too.
So
Okay.
so you guys just can't come here.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't come there, but you guys can come to us.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's weird.
So like,
Yeah. Wow.
just come over here and play. We'll do
Yeah.
it. Tournament, whatever.
Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Dream Team. I think that's Gail. Yeah, that team was Dream Team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We said that was in 2018. Gail said she missed you guys. NWO. Cash showed up for that match in the night. Okay, talk about that match in the night. Talk about that.
Oh, that's Wisconsin.
Okay. What tournament was that? Was it a Labor Day tournament or
Oh,
what
Yeah.
yeah,
was that?
Labor
Labor Day
Day
tournament.
tournament.
Oh yeah, it gets dark quicker during that time of the season.
With,
So you guys
uh,
played in the dark?
Yep, we played
Yeah.
a bronze match in the dark.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
was an
Was there any
interesting
lights
game.
at all? Or
No,
what
it was literally
It
like
was the
pitch
dark.
black.
There were some people they did flash their car lights, but
Oh,
that
shoot.
just made it worse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then like
Ended up
Road
rolling her
flashlights?
ankle.
Yeah, I got I got
Oh.
concussed.
Oh yeah,
I
she got
hit my head
concussed.
and I got concussed.
Oh, wow.
So they
Man.
did like a last minute sub, and I was on their roster to sub, so I ended up subbing in for her to serve and do a few
Like passing.
passes in the dark, and we ended up winning third.
That game
Wow.
was literally
You
like
know-
so bad.
just
You
one
don't-
ball over. It wasn't even
Yeah.
like
Yeah. You don't.
it was just like get the ball over the net and hope for the best.
I was gonna say you don't pass it anymore in the dark. You just
No.
bump it over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a game of ping pong, essentially.
Yeah. We were willing to just like split it because we were
Yeah.
like, because right after that game, we were like, okay, we got to get on the road. We got to get back to the border.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because we drove. It's like a
Oh, yeah.
12-hour drive from Wisconsin.
Wow.
We had like
Okay.
school like the next
yeah, we
day.
had school the next day.
We
So
had like the first
Oh,
day of school
shit.
the next
first
day.
day back, we were like,
Jeez.
we said
Okay.
we were like, we're willing to split with you guys if you want, but then the other
Mhm.
team didn't want to. So we were like, okay, like screw it. I guess we have to play. So then we
Yeah.
just tried to like end the game as quick as
Shit.
possible. And then
Wow.
somehow luck was on our side.
Yeah.
At this point, it wasn't even about skill, it was just luck. And
Yeah.
we won.
Yeah.
Did you guys make it to school though?
Yeah, we did. I was
Yes.
tired the next day though. I just remember like waking up. I was like, I didn't even want to go to school.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
We're looking for good stuff from you guys, especially with since Ashley and Jordan, you guys are playing college ball already. We're looking for Maddy to make her transition as well too. I think she definitely has the talent and the skills. It's just amazing. I just like her all around game. She could, she's like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Pretty much do it all out there. So, and mentally tough as well too. And big props to your dad for
Yeah.
producing all these talent, and your mom as well too. So,
Oh
guys have
yeah,
any
I was
brothers?
gonna,
Our mom's
Mom's
the
a
best.
cheerleader.
Yeah, the
Funny.
mom's the cheerleader. Every time
Okay.
we go to a tournament, like I swear our mom just knows everybody because like we
Mhm.
go to
Very
a
social
tournament and
person.
Yeah, she just likes to brag. She's like, "Oh, like see those girls over there? Like that's those are my daughters," or like she'll be like, "My kids are so good." And then you see my dad, he's like, "No, they're not." Like, yeah, we're definitely lucky in a sense to have like
Mhm.
such good like supportive parents that support us in our volleyball careers,
Mhm.
to give us like the opportunities that they never had a chance to, or were told that they weren't allowed to. So
For sure.
we're definitely very, very lucky in a sense that we have
Yeah.
like our dad and our mom to support us through our volleyball career. They're the real like rock stars, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's how parents are. They go unknown. They push their kids out there and they just kind of play behind the scene, and that's how they rather have. That's what they rather have as well too. They want the kids out there. They'll do all the dirty stuff behind the scene.
Yeah,
So that's for sure.
they do
So-
all
Yeah,
the
what was your mom's your guys' mom's role through all this? Was she just a cheerleader or supporting, or
She was the
you
cheerleader.
guys help when you guys were down, or
She was the one that
Cheerleader.
brought us food. She was the
Honestly, water girl.
yeah, water girl, cheerleader,
Okay.
food,
Side coach as well.
side
'cause
coach sometimes, but not
Okay.
really.
Not really.
The best
Wow.
was like when we'd be at tournaments and we're so like tired. It's like the last match of the game, and like my mom would be like, or my mom and dad would be like, "Here, just drink a pop. Like here's a pop. Like just
Yeah.
have like a can of like Coke or
Just some
ginger ale.
energy.
Like you have that sugar rush, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we weren't allowed to do it in front of our coaches because they didn't like that.
Yeah. Definitely supportive parents. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, in order for you guys to get to this point as well too. I just want to ask, is it just for you girls? Do you guys have any brothers at
Yeah,
all?
we
We have a
Or?
younger brother. We have a younger
He
Okay.
brother.
he's just made the Preds team this year. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
starting to get into it this year.
14.
Okay. How old is he?
14. No, 13.
Oh,
Oh, he's
Okay.
14.
He's 14.
okay. Does he have the height like you guys do?
He's taller than me.
He's like 5'6", 7.
5'6".
He's like
Yeah, he's
5'7".
like 5'7" now.
He's got time
Okay.
to grow.
Yeah.
That's pretty tall for a 14-year-old
yeah.
or for
Yeah.
Hmong right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
tall.
He's still growing. So
Yeah. Yeah. So
think-
Is he compared to what you guys went through? Is he getting that treatment, or is he?
Oh my no.
No.
He's
So-
behind.
So the burden is on you guys to kind of give it to him, like just.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. Like too easy for him. Like
now,
Maddy's his coach.
Maddie's coach
Coach.
because
It's
every
fun.
time Maddie goes to coach him, he always comes inside and is like mad or
Complaining.
annoyed because Maddie.
Maddie, what are you doing to him?
I'm doing the same thing my dad does to me.
Well, I think
I
I think he needs to toughen up because when your dad did it to you guys kind of just stood there and took it, right? Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yes, yeah,
I don't know,
definitely.
it's different.
Yeah, it's
He's
different
older
now.
boy, so I mean, he's got special treatment.
Oh, yeah. Well, it looks like it.
man.
Yeah.
Any more comments from the?
I think that's it. I think
Okay.
5.
Okay, I want to ask each of you ladies what it means to be a Hmong athlete to you guys.
Actually, first.
Yeah,
Me?
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
For me, and honestly, I don't feel like any different. I just feel like a volleyball player, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like obviously I'm proud to be like a Hmong Canadian, but here like just because we're so diverse and like not a lot of people in Canada know what Hmong people are or what the Hmong culture is. So to me, I just feel like a regular person, like a regular player. Nothing different, just a regular person, honestly. Yeah.
I think for me, it's more so like I feel like I'm very lucky and blessed
Mhm.
to be given the opportunity to play volleyball. Just because like within the Hmong community, like some parents are very old school, so they don't know what, like they don't understand why do you want to play volleyball? Like go get an education, go do this, you know, get a good job. And they don't know or know the value of like sports and what they can mean to their child. So just even having like supportive parents like my mom and dad who allowed us all to play and were there 100% of the way. I just feel like we're very lucky.
That's a good way to put it, for sure. Just putting everything in perspective.
Yeah, for
Now,
me,
go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead, Maddy.
For me, I think it would be like the opportunity it is to represent being like a Hmong athlete too, which like there's not many here, like they said, but just being like that one person or like just like to represent and then to also play and to also be recognized too. I think that's probably what it really is all about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jordan?
It's like a mix of all of that. Like it's amazing to have like an opportunity to play sports, especially at this high level, as well as have like a very supportive family. The same thing goes with Ash. I don't more so think of myself as a Hmong athlete. I honestly think of myself as just like an overall athlete. But like it's good to kind of just set like a kind of a role model, kind of what's the word? Like be a role model in a sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's also nice to be able to like represent because as like we're not the tallest players. Like you go and you play, like you look at professional volleyball, all those players are like tall and
Unless
they're
you're
big.
from Thailand. Unless you're from
Unless you're from Thailand. But, like, it's nice to be able to break barriers and say like, you know what, I am a short player, but I'm still doing it. Like I'm still able to compete. Like I made it, and to be able to like to break or define like the odds of saying like just because you're a short player doesn't mean that you can't play volleyball at a high level. Because like here it's like if you're not like over 6 feet tall, you're not playing. And my goal when I heard that was like just because I'm not 6'1" doesn't mean I can't play. And I made it a goal to play university ball, and here I am. I played my first year as a left side. Like then that was that. And I had coaches even compliment me because they're like, you know, you never see short players playing